refresh, and heal. At Fantuzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzoAcupuncture.com.
Hello, guys. We're a little late, but we're here.
Hey, Kimberlina.
We're here.
The Boston Revolution.
What's up, homie?
Kimberly's Revolution with Revere Realty. We're on live. It's our podcast. It is our 8th episode called Superspreader Yellow Alert.
Yellow Zone.
Yellow Zone, baby.
We're in the yellow zone tonight.
Danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Do you guys know that show?
I don't.
Lost in Space. I watched it.
Yes.
The benefit of having old people in the studio.
Oh, my God. You say that
It's
because it's my
Netflix.
birthday tomorrow? Or are you saying that because it's my birthday?
Listen, you guys,
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
you guys want to listen to Chicago 1978 in the car on the way over here. I mean,
It
you
was
guys.
25 or 6 to 4. That's a classic.
You don't turn
Chad, it's a
Chicago
classic.
off on the
You
car.
can't.
What's wrong with you?
It's a mate. 25 or 6 to... Okay, see, here's what happened. Here's the thing. We were supposed to do this show an hour and a half ago.
Right.
We've been over at a bar for the last hour and a half.
So what happens then?
So here we are. And you know, I mean, it's going to be a very loose show. I mean, that's, you know, for me, it's going to be, I'm a cheap drunk. I'm an Irish girl who cannot hold her liquor. So I have 2 glasses of wine,
Chad,
and I'm good.
Chad, you brought her.
We walked.
Thanks a lot.
We walked.
So we went over to this, I've never even heard of this bar. We didn't even think it was open.
The Basin Pub.
Yeah, and so we had appetizers and we had a drink, and then we came back and Fitzy said, hey, everything looks good. So here we are. We are here. We are ready to go. We are rocking.
God
we see
bless
your face.
America.
Yeah. So if you happen to go on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to YouTube. Make sure you go on Apple Podcasts and you give us a like, and you also give us, you know, your thoughts. Give us a review on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate it. And make sure when you go see the guys at Fantuzo Acupuncture that you let them know that Kimberly's Revolution sent you, because we all know that being healthy is a good thing. And if you're having some issues, sciatica, if you're having migraines, if you're having fertility issues, if you're having any kind of vertigo, Fantuzo's Acupuncture can help you. They're all about holistic health. So go see Fantuzo's and make sure you say Kimberly's Revolution with Revere sent you. And we would appreciate it.
Can they help us out of the yellow zone?
I don't know. Okay, let me just quote Michael Mendoza this afternoon.
Hold on, let's get his name correct. It's Dr. Mendonitz.
Okay.
The man has his face on a donut right now.
He says, and I quote, "We've had more cases in the last 3 days than the entire month of September, and we don't really have that many people that are following protocol." He's very upset that people aren't taking the coronavirus seriously. He also goes on to say that there will be enforcement of any violations.
Ooh, I'm so scared, Dr. Mendonitz.
That sounds
I'm so
like
scared.
a threat to me.
Does he have a badge and a gun?
Sure does.
So let me just tell you, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is going to have pre-taped performances and only a couple of big balloons.
Is Santa coming?
Oh, my God. Santa's going to be virtual.
Virtual Santa.
How does that work? How do you have virtual
So
Santa?
is there virtual presents?
And by the way, Joe Biden, is he the...
Who's he?
We don't know what he is right now.
Is he still
It's
alive?
a whole thing. He's got a guy, his COVID advisor, Dr. Michael Osterholm, said that the U.S. needs to go on national lockdown for 6 weeks to avoid virus hell. Are you? First off,
to avoid no deaths.
we can't endure 6. You know what there'll be death of?
The economy.
businesses and economy. Yeah, there's
and,
no doubt.
And the people that are unfortunately
There's no
committing
doubt.
suicide over over losing their business, not being able to support their family. But
There's no doubt. So Dr. Mendoza here in Monroe County
Dr. Mendonuts.
is angry that people aren't taking him seriously.
Oh, the poor guy. He's butthurt.
And he's angry, Chad.
He's butthurt.
Chad Hummel and Todd Morgan. Did I introduce you guys?
No.
Revere Realty. 467-1776.
That's what's happened when we have
The revolution.
computer issues and we go drink instead of hang out.
Kimberly used to work at another real estate company before she joined ours.
Remax are horrible.
Whoa! Hey, 8 shows later, we got it out of her. Remax.
Tom Schnorr is a little bitch, isn't
Tom
he?
Schnorr.
He's a little bitch.
What happened to Tom Schnorr at Remax? He doesn't.
On
he doesn't.
which occasion that he got busted? I'm not sure.
Does he have any of the 5 deals that you have right now yet?
He does not.
No, he has none of them.
No.
No, but we
But
do.
you do. Yes.
We do.
So if you need to buy or sell, Revere Realty is your go-to. We're a small boutique realty firm in Irondequoit.
But we do believe in things like freedom.
Yes.
We do believe that there are only 2 genders and other things that
matter to
that
some
have
people.
common sense.
Yeah. Common sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to turn my phone off.
Oh, see?
So bad.
You should be fired.
So, that was the wrong phone to turn off.
All right, here we go.
We're in trouble.
Here's the
Buckle
thing.
up.
Are we super spreaders? I don't know. I had a COVID test. Last week I wasn't feeling great. I wasn't feeling fantastic, so I had a little cold, as I normally get this time of year. Here's the thing. The numbers are up in Monroe County. What are we going to do? We need to go on lockdown. No. Take a chill. We don't need to go on lockdown. You know why?
Because nobody's dying.
It's called the change of the season. What happens at the change of the season?
Illness.
Usually in September, October, when your kids get into school.
Mama deer, father deer, baby deer, change of season.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So kids get sick. That's what happens. And, you get their germs and everyone kind of gets a cold. I had a cold. I never had a fever, but I went to get the COVID test. You're shaking your head.
Against my legal and medical advice.
And you chose CVS to do this?
Yeah, CVS, you go through the drive-thru. They let you do it yourself. You stick the thing up your nose.
So you don't need a shopping cart.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you swirl it around in a little vial. You put the vial in a plastic bag. You roll it up like a burrito. You set it in a thing. 24 hours later, you're supposed to have
COVID.
result.
You administered your own COVID test?
Yeah.
You're not even a doctor.
How's that? What? What?
It's at CVS. You can do that. So I did it
Why? Why did you do it?
because I just wanted to see if I had
Did
it.
you-
I had a little cold.
There's no way you shoved it up your nose far enough.
And by the way, I did. It tickled. It felt like I had to sneeze. You know how have you guys had the test?
No, I never
Not in a
will.
million years.
yeah.
What would be the point?
So I went and I had it done. I'm the only one that was sick in the house. I'm the only one that had a cold. I'm the only one that had a cough. I'm the only one that felt like shiatsu for like a couple of days, right? So I went and had it done, and 4 days. So I called them today.
And you still don't know the results, and you're sitting here with us
I called them today. Well, I'm healthy now. I feel
with no
great.
mask on. You're a super spreader.
I know.
You're putting us in the yellow zone.
The name of the show today, Super Spreader Yellow Zone.
Here's the good thing, though. The good thing is under these new
Hi,
yellow
Robin.
zone. Hi, Robin. Under these new yellow zone mandates, it's okay to have 4 people sitting at a table at a bar, right? So if
we were.
Yeah, and if we pretend this is a bar, there's only 3 of us. There's an empty chair over there. There's a Louis Vuitton or a
It's a Louis Vuitton purse.
or a Gucci or what's the other? Is it a knockoff or what is that?
Michael
thing?
Kors.
Yeah, Michael Kors.
Yeah. What do you get your wife for Christmas? You get her fancy stuff, right?
Slippers.
I think that's the name of my client's dog.
Slippers.
Yes, it is. Boots. It's boots or slippers.
I can't remember what my client's dog's name is, but he has like 5 of them.
But you've had 5 clients so far that other company could have had, right? If they weren't such cowards.
I know. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, it's
so
all good.
business is going well.
At
And
Revere Realty.
hi to Robin Grammatico. We love her.
And you got your first
Good girl.
check?
Got my first.
Yeah, she got her first check this week.
commission check, y'all.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So excited about that. Spent it all at the bar.
And tomorrow's your birthday.
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Happy
That's right.
birthday.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to get COVID results for my birthday. I have no idea.
That'd
But
be
here's the
great.
thing. So the CDC says that you're going to have Thanksgiving outside. Governor Comrade Cuomo says you're not going to be able to have all your family here.
Andy.
And Dr. Mendoza
Mendonuts.
says your kids are going to be tested at school. How do you feel about that?
Oh.
First off-
I'm old, so it doesn't matter to me.
I actually wrote some notes down for this conversation.
Uh-oh.
First
can't
off,
relate.
let me tell you, do you know where the CDC is?
Hold my beer.
Atlanta.
What kind of weather do they have in Atlanta during November and Thanksgiving?
Pretty
Mild.
nice.
Mild.
Right. What kind of weather do we have in Rochester or Buffalo or any part of the eastern, northeast United States
Well,
or upper Midwest?
Rochester's the new Virginia now, so I mean, with climate change, this should be fine.
Sure. Last year we had like 12 inches of snow.
Nah,
But you know what?
It's a myth.
The CDC says, based in Atlanta, that everyone that's having people over for Thanksgiving should have Thanksgiving outside. They can stuff it up their backside.
Is Dr. Mendonuts watching right now?
You giving him the big FU? The big F.
It's a bird. It's a turkey. Look. Catch my bird.
So they're going to test your children.
That's a corn-fed figure there, Chad.
And the main guy for President-elect Biden says we've got to shut down the economy for 6 weeks, which we can't.
It's a great idea.
We can't take.
It's a great idea.
And now Governor Cuomo says
King Andy.
all bars and restaurants must close by 10 o'clock.
Yes.
You cannot have more than 10 people at your house for Thanksgiving. And by the way, there's going to be enforcement of violations.
What
What
time-
does that mean?
What time does the virus go to sleep? 10 o'clock?
9:59.
So I'm really curious.
9:59.
I'm really curious
Right.
how the whole enforcement thing is going to work. I sent a couple tweets to Sheriff Baxter over the past 24 hours and to the chief of the Irondequoit Police Department.
Did Sheriff Baxter get back with you?
I haven't gotten any response, but there
It's
was
interesting how you never hear
Shocker.
from him when all of a sudden you're on the backside of a conversation.
But there was one reply that I got. It was a tweet from another individual who replied to my tweet, and I thought it was incredibly insightful and funny. And her response was, "How can Sheriff Baxter arrest anyone if he's not even allowed to arrest the criminals?" I mean, that's an excellent point.
That is a very good point.
Yeah, the police can't arrest criminals. The jails are being forced.
Are they stealing your turkey, Chad?
If they smash the window and grab it.
I got a turkey at Aldi's yesterday for very cheap.
The jails are being forced to release criminals
Right.
over COVID.
Yes,
right?
yes.
The
But
jails are getting court orders.
But if you have 11 people at your house, Chad Hummel, on Thanksgiving.
I'm a criminal.
And your neighbors, which is what they want, right? They want to pit neighbor against neighbor.
That's exactly what they want.
That's exactly what they want. So if they call 911, what's your emergency? My neighbor has 15 people over at their house. And that would be you, Chad
That would
Hummel.
be probable cause, right? There's 10 cars out in the driveway. Probable cause is that there's at least one person per car.
Yeah.
There's at least one person living in the home. So now all of a sudden the police have probable cause to what? To come to your door, look in the windows, knock. I mean, how does this play out?
So is this turned into fireworks? 4th of July when the neighbors got fireworks?
And then you call them and you say, my neighbors are
and they
shooting
don't
off
do
fireworks.
anything. They never do anything.
Here's the problem. It's pitting neighbor against neighbor, brother against brother, and it's creating a Nazi Germany
Civil War
like situation. I, for one, I'm never going to pick up arms against another American ever. I'm not going to do that.
Would you pick up arms against Governor Cuomo
I
or Dr. Mendoza?
What about Canadians?
I
Would you
might-
pick up arms against Canadians,
You know what?
Kimberlina?
Here's the back of your head. I might slap him up the back of the head and go, "What are you thinking? What are you thinking about making these kind of rules?" Listen, here's what COVID is, and let's make no mistake about it. It's a virus. You can't stop a virus. You can vaccinate it against it, maybe. The vaccine, all of a sudden, Monday, we have a vaccine from Pfizer.
Shocker.
Isn't that amazing? We have a vaccine from Pfizer.
But that's not the story.
On
right
Monday,
now.
but the story
is Thanksgiving.
The story is there could possibly be a vaccine, but it's not now. It's going to come later.
It's 90% effective against a
They don't want-
virus
they
that's 99.8%.
They don't want you to gather with your family, and they say after 10 o'clock, apparently the virus gets ramped up at 10:01.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know.
Don't be stupid.
The virus is out there. Unless you're exposed to the germs, you're never going to have immunity. I'm a huge believer in herd immunity. I know that doesn't that doesn't set well with some of our, people that might be listening, but I'm a huge believer in it. Huge.
Apparently, I've been sitting next to the germs for like 2 hours now. So
We have a picture of Governor Cuomo and what we think.
King Andy?
Fredo's brother.
There he is. There he is. Isn't he cute?
Nice.
Hey, serving turkey
He's the Grinch.
all by himself.
He's stealing your turkey.
What a loser. And he knows it. That's why he's doing this, because he knows he's such a loser. And he got sued.
I can't. Well, what's going on with your lawsuit?
So, that's
And now the news.
we're going to be going to court on November 23rd. We're not sure yet if King Andy and Comrade Bello and Dr. Mendoza are going to bother to show up, because this morning they had their lawyer contact our lawyer and ask for an adjournment. Because apparently they don't have enough time to prepare for answering our lawsuit. They've spent the last 8 months destroying your lives.
Of course.
And they've spent the last couple weeks constructing some more illogical and unconstitutional and immoral mandates against you, like mandatory testing of your children in school.
Right.
And you can only have 4 people sitting at a bar or a restaurant, and the bars and restaurants have to close after 10. They have plenty of time for that.
So ridiculous.
Dr. Mendoza had plenty of time to spend a half an hour on 98 PXY yesterday providing an interview, but his lawyers, and of course, I mean, make no mistake, they have multi-million-dollar legal teams.
Sure they do.
At New York State and at Monroe County.
Of course they do.
But they're calling our attorney this morning begging for an adjournment because they don't have enough time to prepare. No, what they want to have more time to do is to put their boot on your neck. They want a 30-day adjournment so that they can pass even more restrictions and more regulations. It's absurd.
It is absurd. The whole thing is. And of course,
they're clowns.
I mean, your kid's getting tested in school. I don't have a kid in school, but I don't think I want my child in school being tested by anyone. Pamela says the virus police going to come to every house to make sure you're not having more than 10 people. Fuck that stupid rule from Pamela. Whoop, whoop. We like Pamela.
There you go, Dr. Mendoza.
Said the F word. You can watch us on
Is
Facebook Live.
Is your bird organic, Chad?
Organic.
Is that an organic bird?
I have 2 organic 10-pound turkeys right here.
If you go to YouTube, you can subscribe to Kimberly's Revolution channel for free, and you can give us a big thumbs up. And if you go to Apple Podcasts,
Or bird up?
you can also go to Apple Podcasts and give us a thumbs up on Apple Podcasts, and also rate us and give us a little review. We appreciate that. And again, when you go to Fantuzo's Acupuncture, make sure when you go to Fantuzo's Acupuncture that you mentioned Kimberly's Revolution, that they can help you holistically with your health. If you're having back problems or stomach problems or migraines, Fantuzo's Acupuncture is your go-to. So we had mentioned that Cuomo was ridiculous with his laws and his rules. But the fact that they expect it to be enforced is what throws me. Again, you have, 3 murders in 5 days. That's number 45 of the murders for this year. We haven't heard anything about the mass shooting that happened on Halloween.
We have to lock the guns up.
Right? We haven't heard anything. We haven't heard anything about the mass shooting where 16 were shot and 2 were killed in September. But yet, they want to make sure, and they're going to enforce, that all bars shut down by 10 and that you don't have more than 10 people in your house for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you, the law-abiding citizen.
Can I just say how are we in the upside down?
It's absurd.
Chad, can we open
Are we in
one
the
of
upside down?
Can we open one of those illegal after-hour bars? We could probably make a lot of money at that.
The speakeasies are
Go
the
for
thing
it.
now. So when we went to this bar tonight, we thought they have the blinds down because they really don't want anyone to know they're open. I
And their
think
neon open sign was turned off.
the speakeasies are going to be like the thing, right?
Yeah.
I like a speakeasy. It's kind of dangerous. It's kind of, you're not supposed to be there. I dig it. I like it. It's, dangerous. You're naughty. Dangerous and naughty are good.
I'm not allowed to be naughty.
You're not
No.
at all?
No.
So
I
go ahead.
want to get back to the whole testing thing.
yeah, your kid's being tested. I don't have a kid that's in school, but I
Yeah.
know that Patty Bardine has a kid in the, is it Aquinas School District?
Agent at Revere Realty. Yes, she does. She has kids at Aquinas.
She's angry about this because, again, I'm going to tell you, it's just not Brighton and Hilton and Penfield and
No, it's everywhere.
Irondequoit. It's the private schools
state
as well,
mandate.
including Aquinas and, all the Mercy and all the other schools.
So here's the thing. I mean, let's just keep it real simple. You start with why, right? So you're a parent, you have a kid in school, and this rule, this law, this edict, whatever the hell you want to call
Right.
it, gets issued. And the rule or the mandate from King Andy is the schools are mandated to test a minimum of 20% on some sort of rotation.
Right.
They have to test 20% of the children. But the parents, apparently, because it only makes sense, right? The parents have the option or the right to opt out. So as a parent, you don't have to give in, okay? But if the schools aren't able to secure
Right.
the number of tests that King Andy and Dr. Mendonitz tell them that they have to secure, guess what happens? The schools are shut down. That's literally the way the mandate is written. So it's essentially coercion. It's a threat. It's, I am going to steal your TV and then force you to buy it back if you don't follow the rules. So it's a construct that he's set up. And it's set up for failure, of course, because let's face it, what is the point of the test? What's the point of the test? There's a bunch of healthy and at worst asymptomatic kids going to school right now.
Right.
So why are we testing them? What is the point of testing them?
I mean, it's the craziest thing I've heard.
Who's paying for all these tests?
Who is paying
we
for
are.
all of it?
We are, right? Because the
Yeah.
tests are free. I got the email from
Oh,
the
yeah,
school.
they're free.
Yeah, I got the email from my superintendent in East Irondequoit today, and I had a 7 or 8 email exchange with her today.
Shocker.
Shocker.
I'm
So-
shocked about that.
And my wife, who's a teacher at a private school in the city, she got her email from her principal today. And, it's not a coincidence that the emails are very, very mirrored. There's a lot of common language that's
Sure.
being used because they all got their directions from Dr. Mendonitz yesterday.
So
they had a
what
meeting.
happens if the kid, like in the Brighton School District, they say, the Brighton superintendent says, if you opt out of having your kid tested, it's not going to reflect badly on them. They'll be able to still stay in school.
Oh, no.
No.
No, it's a lie. It's a lie.
It is a lie?
It's an absolute lie because this is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is if you're the parent or the group of parents that decides to stand back and say, you know what, you're not going to use my child as part of your experiment because Dr. Mendoza, oh, wait, did I call him Mendoza? I meant Mendonitz.
Mendonitz.
His own words on his press conference 2 days ago was, your children are, quote, convenient samples. Those were his words. These, you don't have to believe me. Believe him. Believe Dr. Mendoza. Dr. Mendoza referred to your children as convenient samples because that's exactly what they are.
Crazy.
They are using our children as samples in this study they're doing. Keep in mind, Cuomo created the yellow zone, right?
Yes, the whole yellow
virus-
zone. It's a whole new thing.
Yeah,
It's a whole new deal.
The
Yeah.
virus didn't create the yellow zone. The virus isn't killing anyone.
The virus is out there.
Are you allowed to drive through the yellow zone before it turns red?
And here's what I also don't understand.
No.
I mean, the
I don't think anyone got that, but that was funny.
My question is, you're not hearing anything about the flu deaths, the flu outbreak.
You're not hearing about any deaths.
You're not. No.
Nobody's died in 15 days from COVID. The virus is not creating this so-called yellow zone. It's Cuomo that created the yellow zone.
Of course. But here's what people get sick. November and December, people get sick. It's inevitable. Happens every year. People are going to die of the flu. They're going to die of pneumonia. They're going to die of a multitude of things. And I think everything is being thrown in the COVID basket. That's the problem. That's the number one problem.
People are dying with COVID, not because of it.
But, I think that people have the cold or they're saying it's whatever and they're being diagnosed with COVID. And that's why I think the numbers are jacked up. And they're acting like it's a whole new surprise. It's not a surprise that every November and December that people get colds and they get the flu and they get, other things. It happens every year. You can count on it. Just like the sun coming up in the east every single morning. You can count on people getting sick every winter. It's a thing. It happens.
Yeah, but it's shameful, though, that unfortunately...
And now it's being politicized.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's people that they just, for whatever reason... They eat, sleep, and drink whatever their government officials tell them.
Yes.
This is a conversation that Tom and I have had, many times over the years.
I disavow.
In my tax assessment business a shameless plug for the tax opposer.
The tax
opposer. Yeah, so we've had this discussion. If the government sends you a tax bill and tells you that your house is worth $300,000, there's a vast majority of people out there that presumptively assume that this number must be correct because my government official tells me so.
Not so much.
Why pay more than your fair share? Call the tax opposer.
My government official wouldn't lie to me. My government official wouldn't try to overtax me, right? So
never.
So I mean, the whole testing thing. It really is preposterous because your children are healthy. At worst, they're asymptomatic. And now you're going to have them tested when you don't have to? And if you don't, you're going to be forced to be shut down?
Jim Hickson on Facebook Live says, hey, guys, if I'm using my mask, I shouldn't even catch a cold, right? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I wear a mask when I go into places. I know you don't. I wear a mask.
What? Did you just say I don't wear a mask?
You just outed him out.
When I go into Walgreens, I wear a mask when I go into Wegmans. I got a huge freaking cold last week.
That's part of the problem.
I never ran a fever.
It's part of the problem.
I didn't have COVID.
You got it from Rich.
You know what I had? I had a cold.
Hot flashes?
Freaking. Well, I have those too. No, seriously, I have those too. Shelley, we appreciate your comment too. It disappeared off the screen.
Tom, do you get hot flashes?
I do get hot flashes, Chad, yes.
Shelley says this is exactly why
I'm a supportive husband.
Our father passed away at home last week. If he had gone to the hospital, we would have never seen him again, and they would have labeled it COVID. Shelley, I'm very sorry about your father and I, and it's a horrible thing that your father passed away, and our thoughts are with you, with your family. But you're right. I mean, when I took my mom to the hospital for high blood pressure, and she wasn't feeling well 2 weeks ago, I think I told you guys about Lois, wasn't feeling well. They took her into the emergency room, and I didn't see her again until 2 days later when I picked her up at the hospital and brought her home. They gave her a COVID test. Get this. Never told her results of the COVID test. We have no idea whether my mom had, COVID or not. Patty, my kid hasn't had a cold since wearing masks in school. Schools are germ factories, but she says Aquinas is doing a great job.
Well, I'm not going to say anything bad.
Catholic education.
I went to Aquinas for a lot of money. They gave me my degree too.
They don't have germs at Aquinas.
No.
But you know what, though? Here's the thing.
Germs aren't allowed in the Aquinas atmosphere.
Right.
That's right. But Aquinas will shut down as well if there are enough parents that exercise their right to not allow their children to be part of this lab experiment. Aquinas will be subjected to the same rules that every other school is, and they will be forced to shut down. And if any one school is forced to close because they don't get 20% testing, it will have zero to do with the spread of COVID. It will have zero to do with sickness. It will have zero to do with anybody dying at the school. It will have nothing to do with anything but them refusing to follow King Andy's bogus yellow zone rules. So are we worried about the virus, or are we worried about following King Andy's rules?
I'm just worried about
absurd.
who's going to be the next yellow zone. Don't you hate being called out for being in the yellow zone? You're a super spreader.
Yeah, super
Oh,
spreader.
Well, Chad is.
I don't
want to
go. I don't want to go back on my past.
King Andy's a super
spreader.
asshole. That's what
Super
the problem
spreader.
is.
Super
show
spreader.
him
yellow
your
zone.
organic bird, Chad.
So yesterday in Irondequoit,
Aranda Hood,
the Irondequoit.
where I live and work and breathe.
That's right. You know,
Dave Seeley's our supervisor, who just decided to put the American flag back up only because Joe Biden gave his acceptance speech. I don't mean to interrupt.
you know
Yeah.
what?
Now it's time to be Americans again because
Yeah.
the fascists in the White
All right,
House
well,
is gone.
I'll get back to this. Go ahead,
So
Kimberly.
Dave Seeley decided yesterday, and I mean, we've talked to Dave Seeley before when I was
I haven't. He won't return my phone calls.
in my past life.
Shocker.
In my past life, I talked to Dave Seeley, the Irondequoit supervisor.
Anti-American that he is. Go ahead, though.
My dad was a vet, Korea. My uncle, I never knew, died in Korea. Had his head, blown off, unfortunately. There's my pop right there. He's a Marine, United States Marine Corps. Passed away in 2005. Thank you, Chad. Thank you. That's my pop. Dan Ray served proudly in the U.S. Marine Corps. Hoorah!
Hoorah.
And yesterday in Irondequoit, they decided we can't have a veterans observance.
I am so glad you brought this up. I
We
had no
can't
idea you were bringing this up.
have a veterans observance of the men
you
and the
guys-
women
You thought I was pissed off before, Kimberly.
that fought for our country.
These pieces of garbage in Aranda Hood.
We're going to need 2 hours, Fitz.
You can go to vote,
Yep.
but you can't celebrate the veterans that got you there. Are you
Right.
kidding me?
Dave Seeley, are you listening?
Shame, shame, shame on Irondequoit.
You are unpatriotic. That's what you are, Dave Seeley. And you know what else you are? You're a coward because you tweeted that after a long and thoughtful process, you were pained to have to cancel the celebration for Veterans Day. Really, Dave Seeley? Were you pained? Were you pained a couple weeks ago when you looked outside and you tweeted about how proud you were to see 400 people lined around your building getting ready to vote for Joe Biden? Did that pain you, Dave Seeley?
I don't think it did.
Did it pain you when you lowered the flag to half staff for the past 9 months, even long after the dictate from Washington granted you the right to keep the flag at half staff?
Not pained.
No. Were you pained about that? Were you pained when we didn't have a 4th of July Day celebration, Dave
No,
Seeley?
not pained.
No.
No.
Did you come out on the front lawn when a bunch of us showed up with our American flags and celebrated the 4th of July?
Not pained.
No, you hid in your office. Unbelievable. You canceled Veterans Day celebration? How many people would have been at that celebration? Maybe 20, maybe 30 proud veterans? You could have hosted it, Dave. You could have hosted it. But you've turned the American flag into your politics. Shameful at best. Shameful at best that you take the American flag and the veterans that fought,
Sure.
bled, and died for your freedom, Dave Seeley, your freedom to sit up there in that building on Titus Avenue and collect a paycheck from the rest of us taxpayers, and then you turn it into a political thing. Shameful. Absolutely shameful.
I
So
think that was a rant.
So I saw this yesterday and I thought, my dad would have been
Yeah.
so upset that
There's a lot of dads that were
you're not
upset
going to
over
have
that.
a veterans observance because of a cold, because of a
Yeah.
virus. And by the
Yeah.
way, can't fight the virus. The virus is out there. You stay home and you try not to get the virus, it's not going to save you. That's not the way a virus works. The only way you can prevent the virus is from a vaccine.
Yeah.
And by the way,
That's
again,
not what happened at Iwo Jima
It's
and
not,
the
really.
Coral Sea and Midway. None of that happened. Oh, we're just going to not do a battle today.
you know
Because,
what?
there might be a cold going around. So,
We don't have a-
everybody go home.
You know what?
Can you guys see that?
I see that. I see that.
It's kind of blurry.
It is. Back it up a little bit. Back it up a little bit.
Back it up,
There
back
you
it
go.
up.
Back it up.
Back it up. Back it up.
There you go. Now we see it. Now it's gone. Now it's turned black.
Let's try one more time.
There you go. Yeah, now you see it.
Now you don't.
So anyone
The magic man.
anyone that's familiar with the Seabreeze area you either live in Irondequoit, you've been down 590 where the turnabouts are. So there's the first turnaround on 590, the roundabout where 590 hits Titus. There are 5 flagpoles that typically have nautical themed or nautical based flags that fly year round.
Right.
I have not seen. I live in Irondequoit. I drive down the Irondequoit roads every single day of the year.
Sure.
And I'm very observant, as you might imagine, and especially when it comes to these things. And I have not seen an American flag at full staff anywhere on Irondequoit town property.
Shameful.
Since probably May.
Very shameful.
Okay. And not only did the American flag at the town hall go back to full staff the day that Biden announced that he was accepting the presidency, but when I came through the roundabout tonight on my way out here, I noticed that the flagpoles that always have nothing but nautical themed flags on them have 5 American flags.
Wow.
The fascist has been defeated.
Raised to full staff.
Wow.
So they've turned the American flag into a political symbol for themselves.
That's horrible.
And Dave Seeley, and let's keep going. Dave Seeley's also the town supervisor in Irondequoit, who on the 4th of July, after he canceled the 4th of July Day celebration, had the American flag flying at half staff on the 4th of July, also placed a Black Lives Matter banner on the library building. That's Dave Seeley in Irondequoit.
Here's the only.
Thank you, Dave Seeley.
Here's what I have to say about
You're a very patriotic individual, and we're sure that it pains you to cancel the celebration yesterday.
Fitzy, you better save this for when Chad runs for supervisor next
I don't give a rat's ass about your Black Lives Matter flag or your Confederate flag or your gay rights flag or any flag or your Marine flag.
What about my Buffalo Bills flag?
Or your Buffalo Bills flag or your Canadian Maple Leaf flag. I don't give a rat's ass. There's only one flag. I've said it before. It's the United States of America flag, the red, white, and blue, the stars and stripes. There are no other flags. Stop it with the other flags. There aren't other flags. There's no Boston Red Sox flag. There's not. There's not.
I don't even like the Red Sox.
There should only be one flag flown in the United States of America. One flag.
Old Glory.
Not
Betsy
all
Ross.
the other flags that people think are so important.
Francis Scott Key.
They're not. Your flags aren't important. The flag that matters, the flag that's worth fighting for, is the American flag.
Fitzy, who was the first American citizen that was considered to have been killed that commenced the Revolutionary War?
Oh, is that Crispus Attucks?
Oh!
Ding, 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 ding.
It's a little history lesson for today.
Without any prep. We're good.
That is amazing.
You hear that, Dave Seeley? You probably didn't know that. Black Lives Matter.
That's what you wanted to call today's show.
Crispus Attucks. I got outvoted.
You didn't get outvoted. I just thought Superspreaders was funnier.
And I said, why are we going to make fun of Canadians today?
You thought he said Canucks.
Canucks Attucks.
Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, exactly. So the voting. So is who's the president? Do we know?
We're back to that. Where's Hunter?
Well,
George. Four more years of George.
Funny how the Russian
Hunter.
scandal.
There he is.
Hunter's there.
There he is.
Hunter makes a guest appearance.
Funny how the whole Romanian, Ukrainian, China, Russia thing goes away. Nobody's talking about Russian collusion anymore, right?
No, it's amazing.
No, all gone.
Mail-in voting has led to fraud. I think we can agree upon that, right? Mail-in voting has led to fraud.
How could it?
2 weeks of advance voting because of COVID has led to fraud.
How could it?
70% of Republicans nationwide think that the vote was not fair, that the ballots were tampered with, that there were irregularities, and so what does that mean when,
It means Trump 2024.
Apparently similar to our podcast, the state of Michigan had a software issue. That votes got cast the wrong way.
See, that wasn't right.
Well, I think there was
I guess the state of Texas said that this particular software was not appropriate. They failed it, and Michigan used it, and now they got a computer issue in Michigan.
My understanding that many municipalities used this computer system of where the computer program, the software, was flawed.
Yes.
Right?
If you give
we have a situation where all these municipalities and all these states, the software was flawed. There was a glitch. And so you have a problem with the software that they either knew or they didn't know. I think they had tested it before and it came up as flawed.
They tested it and they knew it was. Yeah.
They still used it.
Did they test positive for COVID?
It did.
What does it matter if they knew or didn't know?
Because they knew it wasn't going to work right.
But here's
and
the
they
thing.
used it anyway.
But it either did or didn't work right. See, that's the thing that we always get lost in, right?
It didn't work.
It either worked or it didn't work.
And they still used it.
And if it didn't work, then it doesn't count.
But they still used it. It didn't work. They had tested it multiple occasions from this particular software company. What was it called? It starts with a D. Is
Microsoft?
it Dominican?
Yes.
Democrats?
Is it
Apple?
No, it's not. I forget the name of the software company, but I mean, it's
Democrats?
Yeah, it was something with a
relevant.
Dominican or Domina something.
You're
Yeah.
you're
Domino's. I don't know. Did you get a pizza with that?
$7. You get 3 of them for $7, I think.
Domino's is sneaky good.
You know, look, when I was
It actually is. Domino's is sneaky good.
I was the angry.
So is Little Caesars.
You know, I was the angry old guy. I was the old-fashioned guy at the ripe old age of 35 when they decided to go to computer voting. Right? I mean, come on. You walked into a booth 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
Says a guy named Chad.
For 100 years, hanging Chad. Hanging Chad.
Right.
Hung.
Are you the hung Chad?
Hung Chad.
Hung like that.
Chad.
I'm hung like that light switch over there. That's another story.
Oh, Dominions. Thank
Dominions.
you. Dominion.
Do they have good pizza at Dominions?
I don't know. Old Dominion is the only.
Fitzy, aren't you glad we came back tonight?
Thank you, Stacy. You're a lifesaver.
So look, you went into a voting booth and you pulled a lever. And at the end of the night, I used to be one of the poll watchers, believe it or not. At the end of the night,
But you weren't a poll worker.
shocker, you're supposed to say at that point.
No.
I was a poll watcher.
It would have been
Correct.
more shocking if you were a poll
I'm a
worker.
poll
worker.
watcher.
I was not a poll worker.
But even the poll watchers weren't allowed to poll watch.
Right.
That's another problem.
Well, this year, yeah. But I was a poll watcher for the Honorable Frank P. Geraci, who is now a federal court judge here in the Western District of New York. And I was a poll watcher for him about 15 to 20 years ago during 2 different elections when he ran for county court judge the first time. And we used to report to various polling stations at the end of the night at 9 o'clock, and we watched them pull the panel off of the back of the ballot box, and we were able to look and see the numbers of votes that were cast for each individual candidate. And we wrote the numbers down on a piece of paper, and then we went to the nearest payphone, and we called in the results to headquarters.
Not anymore.
And then headquarters for each candidate, they actually knew a payphone. Yeah,
A payphone?
It was 25 cents. Yes. And they knew the results.
Did you have that quarter in your bra, Chad?
The candidates knew the results before the news published them, because there was 1 or 2 of us at each polling station all over Monroe County, and we were calling in the numbers.
That's how they did it all over the country.
You can't do that anymore. It's fed into a computer system.
And the computer system
That's flawed.
is flawed.
Yes, because of one of 2 reasons. There can either be fraud committed that could not be committed with a mechanical calculation. When you pulled that lever, that was a mechanical calculation. Now there's computer fraud or there's computer glitch. Either way, there's room for lots of error there.
Lots of error. And I think this year, obviously 2020, with the 2 weeks of, ahead of time voting.
Oh, was it 2 weeks or was it 2 months?
It was.
I think they're still voting, aren't they?
Yeah.
Has it stopped yet?
When's the time limit to vote?
But I think there's got to be. I think Georgia is going back and counting.
By hand.
Georgia, they've got to fix the issue. They've got to fix.
They did
the fraud.
They got rid of Trump.
Is the Masters still on? I got to get home. We were watching the Masters at the bar.
We're running late today because there was a
glitch.
Computer glitch.
There was a glitch.
A computer problem.
Fitzy was committing fraud back there.
Is it Dominion, the computer?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
Are we running that, Fitzy?
These are all Dominion computers in here.
I figured. So, for the holidays, there's some people that already have up their Christmas tree. Do you?
No.
Do our listeners have up their Christmas tree? I'm just asking the question.
Hell no. You buy a Christmas tree at Christmas.
Do you buy a real one?
Yes.
Are you a real guy? Yes. You're a real guy.
I'm a fake Christmas tree
I'm a fake girl.
Yeah,
I was married
figures.
to my first husband, and picking out a Christmas tree was torture for me because it took forever. My ex-husband was
That's what it's all about.
a lot to handle. And so, we would spend forever looking for the right tree. And thank God I have
Tom,
a so much better husband now.
Do you still talk to your ex-husband?
Yeah, we're actually pretty good friends still,
So
Chad.
they have
I thought you were my ex-husband.
a dumpster fire 2020
I'm gonna have to call Lid on that one.
Christmas ornament for all of you to buy. There it is.
Oh,
There it is.
nice.
There is the dumpster fire Christmas ornament. You got to have it. Everyone must have it.
Are they marked like at Hallmark for your kids? You know, where you get them every year?
Every year you mark it. Yeah, right? Yeah. That is the dumpster fire 2020 Christmas ornament that everyone should
Perfect.
have. So they're selling them.
$19.99 at
They're
Hallmark.
selling them on Etsy. I kid you not.
Do you
That's
guys
a
want to
real
talk
thing.
about Dave Seeley again or no?
Not really.
No.
Not really. And by the way, if you're thinking about going to the movies over the holidays, forget about it
Forget
because
it.
Regal Cinema
Forget about
is
it.
temporarily closing again
No.
in the state of New York because
Do you think we can get Dave Seeley on as a guest, Fitzy? Why don't you reach out to him and
Sure.
yeah, we can
I'll
get
give
him.
it a
So
shot.
here's the thing. Movie theaters, I think, are a thing of the past. You know how payphones
So are
and
schools.
But drive-ins are coming back.
and, and legal ballot boxes.
and legal ballot boxes and phone booths and landlines and what else is like a thing of the past?
this podcast.
VHS.
Are we canceled yet?
VHS.
Fitzy, is this
I
canceled?
think that
This is
that
As
I
long
hot.
as
think-
your check clears, you're good.
Okay, we're good then.
I think movie theaters.
beta machines.
VCRs?
I think movie theaters are a thing in the past.
Airplanes?
right?
Democracy.
I think democracy.
the
is a
United
thing.
States.
You know, I'll be goddamned if someone's going to tell me how. And I'm sorry, I apologize for using
Yeah.
this.
There's a little French there.
That I'm going to let anyone tell me how many people are going to come over to my house.
No,
I'm sorry.
I mean-
it's not even going to happen.
Fucking Obama.
You're not good. Wow, with the F word.
I mean-
You're not going to
I mean,
tell
really,
me
Obama
how
did this,
many
right?
people are going to come to the house, right? And I know there are a lot of watchers right now and listeners.
They're
to this
Thanksgiving
podcast
watchers?
that are thinking the
Turkey
same
watchers.
thing. We can't let this happen.
No.
It's ridiculous to let it happen.
No, I mean, all kidding aside, I'm really curious. I can't wait for these clowns to try to enforce this. I mean, really, though, ask yourselves, listener, what is it that you're going to do when you have 11 people at your house
And your
for your
neighbor
next child's birthday party
Calls you in.
or for Thanksgiving?
You hide one in the attic, Chad. Didn't they do that in
All of it, yeah,
and
they
the-
did.
World War II?
And the deputy sheriff or the Greece police officer or the Irondequoit police officer shows up at your door. What is it that you plan on saying
You just
or
give
doing?
them the organic bird, Chad.
What are you going to say or do?
That'll work out well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll work out well.
Are they going to arrest you?
Hey, America, just do it however the hell you want. Just go and have Thanksgiving and
That's
screw
exactly right. You know
that was Tom's legal advice.
You know what I found
it.
at
Screw
Wegmans?
it. That's my legal advice.
You guys don't shop for Thanksgiving, do you?
I do.
Are you? So
No.
are you the shopper?
I buy the bird at the public market every year from Fisher Farms.
I found this bird at Wegmans. I think we're going to put it up. It's the little turkey butter.
It's right here.
Do we have it?
My mommy makes our turkey with tender, loving care.
Do we have the little picture of the?
Oh, there it is. It's a butter bird.
It's a butter sculpture.
That's illegal.
Who doesn't buy that?
Does
I
that
buy-
count against the 10 people?
They,
Was it like $5? What did you pay for that?
I don't even know. You just got to get it. It's like a tradition. You just have to buy it. It's
Tradition.
Turkeys-
Having your family over for Thanksgiving was a tradition, Kimberly.
Not
Yeah.
anymore, Chad.
I mean, usually we have.
There's a new sheriff in
We
town.
have 2 other families over. I've invited them. I don't know if they're going to come. I already bought my butterball at Aldi's.
You better
Aldi's,
put
by
them in the
way-
basement, Kimberly, in case the police come.
I know. Aldi's, by the way, has a special on turkeys. They're not a sponsor of the show, but I'm just going to give a little something. And I bought one, Kimberly. There you go. See? She bought one of the turkey butters.
Losers.
Buy the turkey butter. But I bought a turkey, a butterball at Wegmans or at Aldi's for $10. and it was a 12-pound turkey. I bought it for $10. I thought that was a good deal, right?
Yeah.
Good deal. 12-pound turkey.
Eh.
Chad went out and shot his
What do you
turkey.
mean?
Well, I get the.
What do you mean?
I get an expensive.
Chad, how far did you have
free
to walk
range.
to shoot your turkey?
I get a free range bird
So last year and the year
at the
before,
market.
Hypocrite, Hummel.
last year and the year
Go
before,
shoot your turkey.
we got it through Sticky Lips and Howie over at Sticky Lips. He deep fries the turkey and he puts together the whole shebang. You pay like $120 and you get everything and the pie. But this year, I don't know who all is going to come. I usually invite Sabine, my German friend, and her family, but I don't know if they're going to come this year because Cuomo has laid the hammer down. There he is. He's stealing our Thanksgiving.
Well, Cuomo's German. Hitler.
Bastard. I don't know. Heil, right?
I disavow.
Heil Cuomo.
Yeah.
Come get me, Cuomo.
The whole thing is just like a farce, isn't it? I mean, you look at it
It's
and
a
go,
big one. It's a big fat farce.
You look at all of this and you go, okay, this can't be happening.
Nobody's died in 15 days.
The fact that Trump was supposed to be a landslide and Biden all of a sudden came through and won, that can't be right. Right? It can't be right that our governor is telling us we can't have people over for Thanksgiving. That can't be right. Because of a virus
That's killing nobody.
that's killing nobody.
Yeah.
That people die every year.
It's such
that you're not able to be with your elderly relatives in the nursing home.
Right.
And they're by themselves, which breaks my heart. And the whole thing is really for nothing.
Do you know how dangerous the virus is, though, Kimberly? You know, I'm really getting sick and tired of you and Tom downplaying the virus, okay? Because it's very dangerous and it's very serious.
Mm-hmm.
It's so dangerous and serious that like 85% of the people that get it, they don't even know it.
Why does sick always
That's
follow? Why is sick always before tired? Why can't it be tired and
I'm
sick?
sick
And tired.
and tired.
Wait, what was that from? That was a.
I think that was Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
comedy
Bill Cosby.
stick.
Yeah, that was a great comedy. stick.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
already
it's
did.
great
We already went over
As-
Bill
Bill
Cosby.
Cosby
Do you still
himself.
have that picture of Bill Cosby?
As he was drugging his,
In Philadelphia,
dates.
where all the fraudulent votes occurred.
Right.
Exactly. So that, and also we have a picture of this as if 2020 couldn't get any worse. 2020 is apparently the time of the resurgence of the dinosaurs.
Right.
You're golfers, right?
Oh yeah, I
Right.
saw this.
Did you see this picture of this guy?
Yeah,
That's
that's a turkey, right?
not fun.
Right.
It's a Florida turkey.
That's a Florida turkey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you, Fitz.
Well played.
Yes, that's a Florida turkey.
It's got COVID.
After Ada, is that the
Hurricane Ada.
the hurricane
Yes.
or the tropical storm?
I think that's
or
racist though,
or
or
Ada?
sexist. Is that misogynist? Can we-
Ada?
Yeah. Is that a boy or a girl?
Alpha,
Or doesn't matter?
I
Beta,
believe
Gamma,
it's a
Delta,
Greek
Epsilon.
letter, Chad.
Theta, Eta. No, wait. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon.
Holy cow!
I forget.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know Pig Latin too?
I do. I know. I know the
She's
Greek.
a Valley girl,
Alpha,
Chad.
Beta,
What was
Gamma,
the-
Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Eta, Theta.
Yes.
That's the way it goes.
Theta's already
Eta,
out in the Atlantic
Theta.
Ocean as we speak.
I have to sing it.
What was the not sorority? What's the house that the men live in?
The frat house?
The frat house.
The
Thank you.
frat house?
Sorry,
A
sorry.
fraternity?
Yeah, a fraternity. Thank you. I appreciate the help there.
The frat house.
What was the frat house in Animal House? What was the name of that one?
Delta.
Delta Psi?
Delta Sig or
They
something.
took the bar. The whole
The whole bar.
effing bar.
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
anybody say anything when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
So,
The Germans? Yeah, he's on a roll.
still,
Leave him alone. He's on a roll.
still one of the best movies ever,
Oh,
right?
phenomenal.
My mom
this
brought
day.
me to that.
Phenomenal one-liner.
At
My
the
brother
theater.
took me to see that.
So we hijacked one of the lines when we were in law school. So I don't know if you remember the scene where they go to the Dean Wormley, right? Or
Dean Wormer.
Wormer, yeah. And
Yeah.
Dean Wormer's going to kick them out, and he's going through their GPAs and all that.
0.0.
0.0. So in law school we had a buddy who, maybe his GPA wasn't all that great, and he liked to party a lot. So we used to say
You?
to him, yeah, exactly me. I'll use my name.
Okay.
Mr. Hummel, 0.0. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through law school, son.
Yeah.
That was,
yeah.
we hijacked that a little bit in law school.
It's funny, but you're a
Good
lawyer
times.
today.
Yeah, I made it.
Shocker.
By
You
the
made
skin
it
of my
through.
teeth.
A guy that didn't make it that we talked about on Kimberly's Revolution about a couple of episodes ago, Jeffrey Toobin. You remember him, right? Jeffrey Toobin? Do I have to remind
Which
you?
episode was
I
this?
forgot
CNN
already.
legal political analyst, New York Times, or the New Yorker magazine columnist.
The lotion guy.
Who was yanking it during a Zoom meeting.
So he's a Democrat.
Him.
Yeah, that
Got
guy.
it.
Democrat.
Got it.
Yes,
Yes,
he's a
worked for
Democrat.
CNN.
That's right.
Legal
Harvey
analyst.
Weinstein.
You just had
Brother.
to, all you had to say was Democrat.
Yeah.
I would've-
Jeffrey Toobin was fired by the New Yorker magazine today.
No.
Are you shocked that
Can we
it took
hire him?
them a month?
Does he want to sell real estate?
Is he
Chad?
racist?
Let me just ask you
He'd
something.
probably be pretty good at
Well, he's
it.
got to go to Remax first.
Yeah, they would never hire him.
We got an extra chair over there.
It took him a month.
We can move Kim's Fendi bag.
Yeah.
It's a Louis Vuitton.
It's a Fendi.
It's a Louis.
What's the difference?
It's a
It's
suitcase.
a Louis
It's an
Vuitton.
overpriced
It's a
suitcase.
Louis Vuitton.
I thought my wife had a big bag.
It's an overpriced suitcase.
Stop it. Overpriced.
Do you have to check that at the airport, or is it a carry-on?
Took them
I think it's illegal to use the
an
airport. in New
entire
York.
month to fire a guy who is whacking it
Right.
during a Zoom meeting with other
You got fired in an
coworkers.
hour. It took them a month.
I got fired for saying that maybe guys shouldn't beat up a woman with a 2x4 for simply, in looting and the protesting. Crazy. This guy was whacking it in a meeting,
Wackadoodle.
and it took him a month to fire him.
Right.
Does that strike anyone as ridiculous? I mean, it strikes me as just, I can't even believe it. Right? I can't. Eh?
Yeah.
He's masturbating during a Zoom meeting, and
Yeah.
it took you a month to fire him.
When you got to go, you got to go.
I said a woman. Oh, and by the way,
Uh-oh.
so on Twitter,
And now the news.
and now the news.
Now the news.
So on Twitter,
Twitter. What's Twitter?
someone says
You
Twitter.
brought her.
you guys shouldn't complain about not having people over for Thanksgiving
Who said that?
and making making slaw and whatever.
Oh, go
Can
F
you do
yourself.
Zoom Thanksgiving? How does that work?
So
Who was this person? I want to slander them right now.
I have to go on Twitter and find it.
They got to be a Democrat for starters.
But I said, who makes slaw for Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah.
Who makes slaw for Thanksgiving? Nobody makes slaw for Thanksgiving.
well,
You
there's
don't-
your answer.
In
You don't
Missouri-
put that inside the turkey coleslaw?
No, in Missouri, you only make slaw in the
Missouri.
summer. That's
Missouri.
coleslaw for those of you that don't know. In Missouri,
my dad lived in Missouri when he was a kid.
we make coleslaw in the summer months for, Memorial Weekend and for July 4th and maybe for your Labor Day picnic.
Kansas City.
You don't make slaw for Thanksgiving. I simply said that to this person, and they go, "Oh, the local Rochester villain responds to my Twitter, blah, blah, blah." I'm like,
You ruffled
Yeah,
your
that-
feathers.
why am I a
Kimberlina,
villain?
that-
I'm a villain.
that's a
I'm
hot
villain.
take.
You're a villain
I'm a villain because
because you're an American.
why? I'm not a criminal.
Do you fly, do you
I've
fly an
never-
American flag?
I've never broken any law. We have an American flag flying at our house right now.
Okay, that's number one. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes.
All right, you're done. Game over.
I also called out a couple of black guys who were beating a white woman with a 2x4 during protests while they were trying to break into someone else's business.
That's
Did you
number three.
Did you buy a turkey shaped like butter?
I did.
Okay.
In
That's
Florida, let me just ask you about this. Can I ask you about this real quick?
Florida.
Florida's governor, did you hear?
Ron DeSantis.
Yes. Two
What?
thumbs up for you for
I'm
knowing
an
the-
American sometimes.
So he has drafted anti-mob legislation that allows you, if you see a looter at a store, like what happened downtown when the two guys were beating the woman with the 2x4. You
Well, don't-
remember the looting, right?
Don't tell them about my Riddler suit because I'm going to get in trouble for that.
You guys need to stream somehow on YouTube. So I have to keep looking at Facebook. Someone says, I'm sorry, we're screwing up your life. So in Florida, they are drafting legislation that basically says if you see people looting, you can shoot them on the street. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Wow. No, that can't be a good thing.
The draft by Governor Ron DeSantis proposed a bill that expands the list of forcible felonies under Florida's self-defense law to include criminal mischief causing interruption or impairment of a business, meaning
He's a racist.
that allows people to shoot looters that they see looting stores that don't belong to them.
Can they shoot white people or just
Is shooting looters?
People.
any people?
Any people. White, black, brown.
How are they gonna prove that he's a racist then?
What?
Is shooting looters? Chad, is shooting looters like trick or treats for adults?
Yeah.
I don't know. He also wants to make it a 3rd-degree felony to block traffic during a protest. So if you get arrested
he's a racist.
during a protest, they can charge you with a 3rd-degree felony.
So you mean
I don't know.
So you mean if like 200 people get onto 490 and block traffic in the middle of the day, and they're not social distancing and they're not wearing masks, they can be arrested?
Yes.
For what?
In
Can
Florida, not here.
Can they?
Not here.
Yeah.
Not here. Not
Yeah.
here in New York,
But
where
if we-
anything goes.
But if we have
Except
11
for at
people,
your house for Thanksgiving.
if you have
Right.
11 people
That
on your
doesn't go.
on your private property,
Yeah.
then Dr. Mendonitz can use the public health law to issue you a citation and
you can go into
haul you into
Wegmans.
You
court.
just can't have Thanksgiving dinner on 490.
You can.
Oh. No,
Right.
see,
Yes.
we got to figure this thing. This
We
is why we're-
need to know the rules.
Yes,
We need
those are the
clarification.
rules.
This is why we're here.
You can't go to Wegmans, or you can. You can go to Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart with all the masses of people. And by the way, the Dewey Avenue Walmart is cray.
That's the closest you've got to a mask ever.
You can do all those, but you can't have people in your house. In Florida, they say that if you're looting and that if someone, it's defined as burglary. Within 500 feet of a violent or disorderly assembly, you can shoot them for looting.
Wait. So when you go in somebody's store that you don't own,
And you loot
and you
the store.
take something out of the store,
And someone
and
sees
walk
you,
away,
someone
that's
without,
called
without paying.
That's called burglary.
I know,
When
shocking.
did that happen?
Yeah.
No, that's not burglary.
That is the story.
We're in the yellow zone.
That is the story. Kimberly's Revolution is the podcast. We got a little late start today. We are grateful for your patience. We are grateful that you're watching on Facebook Live. There's some ridiculous stuff happening, guys. And I don't know if I agree with the Florida thing. I don't know if you should just be able to go around shooting looters.
I hope not.
I do,
But I will tell you, if you break into my house, I'm going to shoot you.
especially if they're white.
I'm going to shoot you. You break into my house, I'm going to shoot you.
If they're white and they voted for Trump and they have a Ford pickup with an American flag, you should shoot them on the spot. Shoot them dead. I mean, what?
You're joking, right? Of course.
I disavow.
What's the problem?
You're crazy. Anyway, so we appreciate your patience and we're glad you're here. If you guys go onto YouTube or Apple Podcasts, you just give us a like, give us a review. We would appreciate that. Subscribe to Apple Podcasts or YouTube. It's free. And who doesn't love free?
And please,
Right?
And please go to Fantuzo Acupuncture.
Yes.
If you feel the need, any services that they can provide, please frequent our sponsor.
That's right. So if you have ailments of any kind, if you have back issues, neck issues, migraine.
Yeah, I have all those things.
You have all those things. Fantuzo Acupuncture can help you. We appreciate them. Until next time, and hopefully no glitches, but until next time, what do you always say?
God bless. Love you, America.
Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzoAcupuncture.com.